Hello, everyone. I'm David Riggleman, Communications Director for the City of Las Vegas. Thanks for joining us for Access City Council. Coming up on this show, construction on the East Las Vegas Library is well underway, and ground breaks to make way for 2 new restaurants in Ward 3. With me today to discuss these topics and much more is the councilman who represents Ward 3, Mr. Bob Coffin. Welcome back to the program. How are you?
David, thank you.
Happy summer.
So happy, yeah. I'm so happy I could just sweat.
I can see why. You should be happy. You have got so many new things, groundbreakings, ribbon cuttings, one after the next. That's amazing.
It is, and it's a testament to the people who believe in downtown Las Vegas.
Exactly.
Not me, but on everything the city's done, particularly over the last 15, 16 years.
I think you've had a little hand in making things happen.
Oh,
though.
I just encourage people to move along. But believe me, this is a momentum that can't be stopped or dependent on one person. That's a big deal.
Exactly. Well, I'm happy to lead us right through this discussion because it's exciting, all these new things that are coming into Ward 3. First, if you're not exactly familiar with Ward 3, where it's located in the valley, we're going to show you. It's right there with that big 3. It's East Las Vegas, basically, encompassing our downtown, as Councilman Coffin just said. If you live in that light blue area, work in that light blue area, then you are in the city limits of the city of Las Vegas, and you are represented by Bob Coffin if that's where you call.
I like to say, if you're east of the freeway in the city limits, it's Ward 3.
That's right. So, hey, let's talk about some of this new stuff you have in Ward 3. First and foremost, the new gateway sign as you come into downtown. We had a driver a few years ago, maybe he had a few too many, took out the old sign that was there. It was kind of a replica of the famous Welcome to Fabulous Las Vegas sign, but now we have a brand new sign there. Showgirls, Las Vegas logo, you and the Mayor's Goodman kicked it off.
The mayor was in her real element. And of course, former mayor Oscar Goodman,
yeah, he was there too.
Always mayor. He was there inspirationally. He brought along his decorations.
his
and
showgirls,
his inevitable Bombay Sapphire
Yes,
drink with a big jalapeno chili in it. And I don't know how he stands that, but he's got a cast iron stomach now. I think the thing is that it's a brand new look. In fact, it incorporates a little old and new.
Yeah, it does.
You know,
it does.
like a little new logo, a little old style, like the girls, the showgirls, which we're very proud of, and we always feel that is a good icon to use. It may not be old Las Vegas, but the girls have become an icon.
They sure have.
And it's right near the Stratosphere Tower.
Right across the street. Yeah, in fact, you can park there at the Stratosphere and walk right across the street because there's a place to get your picture taken. You can stand in front of it. There's like a roulette wheel on the ground there. There's like little poker chips stacked around. It's a photo op's dream.
And we'll have parking behind the sign too, very soon.
Exactly.
So that people will be able. It's limited, but it'll be enough to get started, and then people can park, obviously, overflow over at the Strat.
Good stuff all the way around. So this is, as Councilman said, right across the street from the Stratosphere, right as Las Vegas Boulevard and Main Street kind of split off there, right, Councilman?
Yes. Yes, I think it's one of those devices, by the way, people haven't noticed unless you're an old timer. All these joining of streets have happened over a couple of generations, but they've improved Las Vegas, like the casino center, excuse me, the connector, the two-way couplet.
The couplet, yeah.
Yeah, Main and Commerce. Now we're going to be working, and
One
I
way
didn't
each
want to
way
bring
now.
this up, but we're going to be working on Las Vegas Boulevard now.
Yeah,
So that'll be
coming
another
up.
traffic killer, but it'll be a great improvement with wider sidewalks and all kinds of trees. So, but it's all right there.
Yeah, Main Commerce, and but the next time you're on the show, we're going to talk about the grand opening of that street, that whole project being done, the Main Commerce project. I know that's a long time coming for us here at the city.
It all happens fast.
Councilman, we should also mention that in addition to this gateway sign at Main Street and Las Vegas Boulevard, right in front of the Stratosphere, farther south on Las Vegas Boulevard, there's going to be an entryway sign at Sahara that's going to be even more iconic because it's going to go over the entire roadway there as you come into Las Vegas.
Yes, it'll be a mystery until it's done. It's a mayor's dream, and mayors are entitled to have a dream. You know, they get big projects every now and then, and nobody says no to the mayor. So there will be that. I hope it looks brand new and modern and not so old school because we're all new downtown.
It's going to be good stuff. And we've been saying downtown lights up with all these projects going on. It really is lighting up, and you're going to see that literally when you come down Las Vegas
Well, and I tell people, particularly those who live in what we call the new parts of Las Vegas out west, that we preserve, we modernize, we do what we can to reinvent downtown, because that's the thing that gives the whole valley a reputation.
Absolutely.
We have to always invest, and I think all our colleagues on the council are very, very aware of that, and they just have no problem investing in the downtown area.
For sure. Good stuff. Here's case in point is our very next story. The city tweeted this out. Today, Councilman Coffin helped celebrate the grand opening of the Belmont Pharmacy located at 3050 East Bonanza Road, Suite 160. And this is great, Councilman, because I think you were telling me this is actually an independently owned pharmacy, a rare thing in this day and age.
It is, and you could tell because they didn't have very much over-the-counter medicine in there, but they were just ready to open. Bobby and Zeta Benson are the owners, and they've come from Ghana, but they've lived in the country 30 years, full citizens, and I'll tell you what, that's Bobby right there, starting a new business at his age. Well, he's not that old, but the point is, compared to me, he's young. And the thing is that he will be in a place where we need service like that.
Exactly.
And they're born in Ghana. That's kind of a testament to immigrant tradition.
It's America.
Here.
That's why everybody can live the dream here, right?
Yeah.
That's the whole idea. Now, is he a pharmacist, Councilman?
Yes, he is a registered pharmacist.
Hence the desire to open a pharmacy, I guess.
That's right. And his wife is, I'm not sure if pharmacist or pharmacist tech, but Zeta is highly qualified, and so you go in there, you're going to get personal service.
Well, we were talking about this before we began the show today, just off camera ourselves, and that's the way it was when you and I were kids. Pharmacies were mom and pop kind of places. Everyone that you went in there, they knew you, you knew them. And now, I'm not that it's a bad thing, but everything is a corporation now, and it's just a different feel when you go in.
You know, everything is dictated from the corporate headquarters, whether you use the bathrooms or not, or you come in or out with, shoes or not. I mean, all those things are dictated by some bureaucrat in a company headquarters back east usually. And it's distasteful to me, and I like the idea of any small business, particularly to the people who are willing to risk their fortunes to start one.
Exactly.
Anybody that starts anything, I don't care if it's a shoe shine stand, they're showing courage, they're showing they want to go against the flow, and I think we'll benefit from them in Ward 3.
Absolutely.
For sure, and particularly where languages need to be spoken, because Bobby and Zeta they're fluent in more than English and
good for them.
And their language, their foreign language. Yeah.
Well, Bobby and Zeta, good luck to you. We hope the pharmacy there at Belmont Pharmacy has nothing but success. So good luck, Councilman. You just keep rolling at this point too. The city also tweeted this out. Dapper Companies is bringing a Roberto's Tacos and a Capriati's to the historic Huntridge Center in Ward 3. And you were telling me this is the first development that's been at Huntridge since, what, the 50s maybe?
Well, there was one building built that's been torn down because it was a failure. But look at this new design wrapping into the old as the rest of the Huntridge shopping center is. There's Jay Dapper, the founder of Dapperville, which is what I kind of call that intersection of Maryland Parkway and Charleston, because it's been in need of investment for a long time.
Oh, for sure.
And he's on both sides of Charleston at this point with his investments, and I think he'd like to make it a four-corner deal if he could. So he's got investors, and he knows where to put his money, and he does it, and he executes. So he's there all the time.
And I love this, Councilman, because instead of cutting a ribbon,
we broke ground. We actually broke ground. No shovels.
No shovels, but here what you did is you took bites out of tacos and
we
sandwiches.
Broke bread.
You broke bread.
I think it's the most
works just
fun
as well.
Bread breaking. I think it's got to be a first, and why not? Let's just use it. I'm so sorry for that person that got caught with the food all over her lips. But I had it all over my lips, cheeks, and the rest of my face too. It was a Bobby, which is, of course,
good
very
sandwich.
cranberry,
one of their signatures,
very red on your face. Anyway, the point is that Charleston and Maryland Parkway are a real comeback.
They are.
And all we need is the old Huntridge Theater to come back into some kind of use.
When will that project be done, Councilman? When will those restaurants be ready to open, do you think?
I don't know for sure. I'm going to guess that it will be early next year.
Yeah, I was going to think too. Probably that's about right.
But contractor built,
months,
owner, builder, that kind of thing, that happens fast.
Yeah.
But still going to take at least 6 months. Now, if I'm wrong, we're going to find out.
Hey, we'll be out there for the,
we'll
for
have
the
a
grand
ribbon
opening.
Cutting.
More tacos, more sandwiches.
We'll try to do that too.
Got to bring me some then too, Councilman. So they looked really good. So, and then you were talking about, Charleston is taken off, that whole area. Same thing here. New office building at Charleston Casino Center.
Yep.
You guys broke ground on this too.
This we fondly used to call the pork chop owned by Brett Sperry, who at one time was thinking about trying to establish the modern art museum on that land right there. And it turned out that that wasn't quite the right spot, so they've moved into Symphony Park, we think. But the point is that Brett and the partners over there that are doing this have got a good idea. Mixed use retail, and probably have a little food in there. I mean, there's no telling when you've got a bay and you want to fill it, why not fill it with food? But it's walking distance for everything, and again, it's right in the middle of the First Friday activities. All of the things, Mr. Bunnell is there, and some others I can't remember.
Derek Stonebarger on the right.
On the right. So this is something that's going to go up lickety-split. I think it's the last vacant land on Charleston and that area between Main and the Boulevard. That really becomes a significant thing.
Councilman, that's got to make you feel good, because that really shows you that area with all these things we've talked about today, all these new businesses coming in. That is a great sign, because we've obviously seen the opposite of that over the years, especially during the recession, and now you're seeing life down there.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It reminds me of my childhood, which I can talk too long about, but the idea was that was part of my stomping grounds when I was a kid, a little kid. And that means that I was riding my bicycle to and from that place a lot. Well, I can hardly remember what was there, but the point is that people can walk there, and more people walk and ride bikes now than they did when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's terrific. Well, good luck. That's going to be awesome to see that building there. It's just going to kind of round out that whole block. It's going to be wonderful. And then, Councilman, significant anniversary, a little bit farther to the north of where we just saw. We tweeted this out. Councilman Coffin recognizes the 25th anniversary of the center, and by that we mean the LGBTQ Center. They're kind of between 13th and Maryland Parkway, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Again, where Maryland Parkway divides. And a former paint store, a former furniture store, or carpet store, Lordy knows what. But there it is in that building, beautifully done. They've been there 5 years, but altogether the center is 25 years old, because it started in Commercial Center,
that's
just
right.
south of Sahara.
That's right, and then moved.
So we honored them. The former director, Andre Wade, is there in the blue shirt speaking about it. And of course, they're also trying to pump attendance to their fundraiser this fall. So we let them have extra time to make sure that they talked about that. They've been a great partner with the city. You know, we can use their meeting rooms if we need to, and we can encourage other people to do it.
Councilman, talk about that. The city obviously helped in their relocation, and also helped seed the organization to get started.
Yes, and it was necessary. And the reason is because, you know, that part of town is a rainbow area. So you have to take into consideration the needs of people, particularly in a special kind of way. And so they have clinics there to study communicable diseases, particularly, but everybody's welcome. I mean, there is drop-in, there is some control, but it means that people in the neighborhood have a place to go if they need some help.
Sure.
And there's a lot of counselors there. There's a lot of people to help, particularly young people, because they're the ones that are at a vulnerable age, and they're treated well. And by the way, there's great food in there too.
Yeah, a great place to eat if people don't
Absolutely.
know that. Yeah, they've got a great place to eat, places to eat in there.
Well, Ben, the owner of MTO, now has
Exactly.
the concession for
Exactly.
the food in there. He took over from David Moses. But the point is that the food is still good, and if anybody's familiar with MTO Made to Order, its first location was right here across from City Hall,
Yep.
right there in the parking garage, a good place to have a restaurant.
Yeah.
Turns out they're wildly successful there.
Well, good deal. 25 years, hard to believe. And
Yeah.
of course, 5 years in the new location.
I remember
So-
when it started, particularly, and they met in a place called the Community Church, even before that. So marginalized for decades, heck, for generations, the gay community has found a place here in Las Vegas. They belong, and they help our community in every way possible.
Well, and Las Vegas is recognized as one of the top destination points for the LGBTQ community
Yeah.
to go to where they know they're going to be accepted, have a good time, and be in a place where diversity is accepted as opposed to shunned. So,
Of course, and as I always tell people, you don't know who's gay. You do not know who is or is not, and it doesn't matter, right? In general commerce, but they still have certain needs to socialize with people who share the same upbringing, gender identification, or maybe just that insecurity that comes from being picked on for so long.
Sure.
So they communicate this way, and I like it. It's great to have. I used to go to grammar school right next to this.
You did at St. Joe's, which is kind of across the street.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. It's, as you said, Councilman, it's on Maryland Parkway, technically between Maryland and 13th, as you just north of Charleston.
It's the first building in the center of the two streets.
Right,
So as you're heading north, you can't miss it.
Exactly. Well, congratulations on the anniversary. And then we also want to talk about, Councilman, this is an important issue. You posted this on Facebook. Public comment workshop for marijuana social use venues. Great discussion this morning. Talk about this a little bit. People can legally buy marijuana recreationally or medically here in Nevada, but you can't smoke it in public. You can't smoke it really anywhere except in your home. So if you're visiting here, it creates a little bit of a dilemma. And you had a discussion. City is going to entertain maybe the option of having places where people can go and partake without being outside the law.
That's right, subject to the limitations of the state laws. We will be having these social use venues, they call them SUVs, if you will. People will just invent their own name for it as time goes on.
Different than a Ford Explorer. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And it's like anything else, they have to get started, and with permission. And of course, you've got your state law and then the existing city ordinances, which we have to modify to make this happen. And entrepreneurs are already stepping up forward, not only those who have marijuana licenses now, but those who want to be able to offer it on a timely basis, not constantly, but rather on special occasions. They just have to have a separate room, the kind of things that you would expect, because if they smoke it, it doesn't smell so good, you know, to anybody, frankly. And yet I'm a user, but strictly of the edibles because of my medical conditions. And so arthritis and stenosis. Hey, you know, I'm not a young kid anymore, so I got these pains, and marijuana is a real help, especially for sleeping. But the idea here is that we've taken a lot of suggestions from people in that cannabis community, both medical and recreational.
I wanted to ask you, Councilman, what did you hear from the public at that meeting? We had quite a few people that turned out at City Hall that day to express their opinion on whether these venues are good or bad, but what did you hear overall?
Well, you know, the video shows just some of the people that were there. It was a large crowd. And our staff stood there, our legal staff, our planning staff, our code staff. Everybody was there to listen, to explain the bill as it has been drafted, and then accept changes. And a lot of them were done. And in the 3 weeks after, we received a couple of hundred suggestions. And we have taken a lot of them into account as we redraw the bill, so that when it first appears very soon, you're going to see something that's workable, always subject to amendment.
Councilman, give people kind of the thumbnail of how the ordinance will work, how that bill will work to allow those venues to operate within the city limits.
Well, it's the exception, of course, to consuming it in your home. Now, you don't know if somebody's consuming, you know, an edible of some kind, and anything that can be eaten can be infused. But the smoke is something that's troublesome. But some people they can do it. My lungs can't take it. And so even the business people who have these, they're going to have to decide, I suspect. We're not going to order them to. They're going to have to decide perhaps to have a separate room for the smoking.
Yeah.
And people can smoke and come back and forth so that the smell doesn't permeate the whole location. I mean, a person who teaches painting wants to do paint and puff. My gosh, okay, that's just on a periodic basis, not constantly.
I see.
But puff is strictly, you know, kind of a useful rhyming term. The thing is that it has to be out of public view. So we'll have screening around places like this. They have to make some attempt to control the odor. That will be the biggest problem.
You're right. That's going to be really tough.
Well, it's detectable a mile away. But so is cigarette smoke. If those of us, now that most people don't smoke, you can smell it a mile away, and you think, oh, that's terrible for them, and we all suddenly become easily offended by the smell, which we shouldn't be, because it's harmless when it's a distance away, as with many things. But people react to it. And this one doesn't smell quite as nice as your worst tobacco. So we have to consider that, and we don't want it permeating businesses adjacent.
Councilman, what's the time frame for all this?
I think some of these places will be open early next year. Okay. It just takes a little time. Some people have been working and investing on the possibility, the probability. They know it's going to happen. They don't know if they're going to get licensed to do it. Okay. Which will all be done this fall.
we'll keep you posted, everyone, as this moves ahead. So stay tuned, as we say. Councilman, love this. This is a pet project of yours. I know you're very happy, you and Felipe in your office. The East Las Vegas Library. This thing is really coming out of the ground. We're going to show everybody great progress on this. This was an area of town that had absolutely no library, and now look what's coming out of the ground.
Well,
that's what
that's
it's going
on
to look
Bonanza and 28th. Those of you who drive down Bonanza now know the walls are up. The thing is to remember, this is the first library built in the eastern side of the city ever, in the true eastern side. A hole in the donut of services, as we call it. And I'm so proud of our staff, and particularly, I have to say, our financial genius, who was a deputy city manager, and now he is the city manager, Scott Adams. And you mentioned Felipe Ortiz from
your
my
office,
office. Felipe is on the library board, and has been for 6 years. And he really spearheaded this effort to focus people on not only the Latino side of town, but it's a lower income area. And this has suddenly revived civic use in the east side of town.
Sure has.
So while there's going to be Wi-Fi streaming out into the neighborhood, there will be plenty of parking for this library. It's going to have a lot of multimedia and, of course, lots of books.
Yeah.
Because you can't, you just can't do things without that. But there will be conference rooms
idea,
and
right?
meeting rooms. There will be things for the whole family. And a library, to me, is a joy, because I've just loved them and lived in them. And people, they still love to read. They just read it on their phone or their laptop or whatever it is. And we'll have plenty of electronic media there for people to use, too.
That's terrific.
So, yeah, they can check that out. So I don't see any problem with this. I see it nothing but great, great things. And hopefully it'll open in March of 2019.
Yeah, it's about...
So 7-8 months away.
Felipe was telling us it's about 40% complete at this
But
point.
again, you have to thank, we brag about our own role in this. We don't even own it. But we made it happen because we took that old city land right down the road.
Did all this horse trading. This is going to go here. This is going to go there. We'll give you this if you give us that. And
it became the variety school. Then we took it back, and obviously an arrangement with the school district that had been existing for more than 50 years. And we did a trade with the library district and the housing authority and our own city land, because the library is closing on North Las Vegas Boulevard.
Right.
Across from Cashman.
Exactly.
And they're going to use it for something else. Thing is that now we have this place, and again, I can't say enough about Scott Adams, who could be making $2 million a year at Goldman Sachs, but he's working with us, and we're so happy to have him.
Well, and I think you had a little bit of a hand in this too, Councilman.
Just enthusiasm and encouragement.
Yeah,
that's all.
And you helped clear some roadblocks as well. So anyway, congratulations on the library, and we'll be out there to cut the ribbon here or open a book or whatever we'll do.
We'll do something.
Coming up in the spring.
We'll eat a book.
Exactly, we'll eat a book. Yeah, we'll just incorporate all that stuff. And Councilman, I love this too. You retweeted this from a city tweet. You said, we're officially accepting proposals from construction contractors to redo the Baker Pool, and this is long overdue. Now, the footage you're going to see, this is old footage of the pool, but the point being is that you're going to get a whole brand new, spiffy Baker Pool out there.
And it'll be handicapped accessible, and it'll have a children's entrance, which is a slope, And also the park itself, which is right next door. We joint use with Fremont Junior High School there. And so we are doing this work in conjunction with the school district. I guess we're paying the bills, or all of them. But it's something desperately needed in the old part of town that I grew up in. Huntridge, Mayfair, Southridge, Beverly Green, John S. Park, you name it, all those neighborhoods. This is the only public pool.
Yeah, it serves a big area.
Yeah, and so it's available.
Wow,
and we'll have it open.
Wow.
Hopefully before the end of next summer. I realize the city had to reallocate dollars here and there. We don't have all the money in the world. So it's probably going to be a year later than what we thought it would be when we approved it.
Yeah.
But it's still there, and it's going to be there long after I'm in office. So I'm really happy about it.
Yeah, absolutely, Councilman, absolutely. So we're talking August probably of 19 to see it all said and done.
That's what they think, but I don't know. We've got sharp toes on our boots. We're going to see what we can do. If we can just move a couple of people a couple of months,
exactly.
Maybe.
Well, you catch the summer then. In June, July, that's when we really need it.
They're not going to
right?
want to hear too much from me, so I hope that they realize that.
All right.
On our building.
One way or the other,
Yeah.
a new pool is coming to the Baker Pool area there. It's going to be great. We've done that in other areas. Ward 1, Councilwoman Tarkanian's ward, same thing there. We had to take the pool down for a while to redo it, and turned out beautifully. It's a whole new. Yeah, it's like you're literally getting a brand new
But if you're
pool.
a kid, oh man, a long hot summer with no pool.
Yeah, rough.
That is bad.
Yeah.
And so really, if you put yourself in the little kids' flip-flops and you think about from their point of view looking up, it's too long.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's especially this kind of summer we've had this year with
Yeah.
all the heat. So,
Yeah.
And Councilman, I want to mention this to you. You've got a great event coming up on August 24th. I want to let everybody know about Latinos Lead Training event. This is going to be, again, Friday, August 24th from 8:30 to noon here at Las Vegas City Hall. We're at 495 South Main. Tell everybody what this is about, Councilman. It's a great concept. Explain what this event is all about.
Well, of course, Latinos are a huge portion of our population. What, 30% maybe? And in Ward 3, more than 50%. And yet, a lot of them, they're underrepresented in boards and commissions in the city. And it's not their fault. It's not really the city's fault. It's just that they're staying busy doing their own thing, and they don't realize that the Latinos can do these things. Obviously, citizen Latinos, which most are. And they can learn how to apply for these. They have to learn what exists. They're going to find something that they like. And maybe we'll create a few more that would be more specific to their interests. So we can do that, and we just have to tell people how to apply, where to go, how to fill things out, how to understand. You got to meet, you got to maintain a quorum, you have to be responsible. They are, but it's important for people on any commission to know the committee can't meet without a quorum.
Yeah. And so what you're doing, you can help everybody figure out how to navigate those waters. How to make all that happen.
Absolutely, that's the key. And then telling them they're welcome, and then others in that community welcome others, and it becomes self-fulfilling.
Gotcha.
As I think the east side of town, and frankly most of the town now, is becoming that way. We've broken down all those barriers.
Yeah, that's great. So again, August 24th from 8:30 to noon here at City Hall. So if you're interested, it is free to the public. Come on down.
Oh boy, can't wait.
Well, Councilman, we are about out of time. We covered a lot of ground today, a lot of ground.
Busy ward.
Yeah, busy ward, a lot of good stuff. That's really, you should be very proud. A lot of things happening for the positive. So we want to say, hey, we always want to hear from you. So if you have something you'd like to share with Councilman Coffin, you can find him on Facebook and Twitter. And if you leave a comment, we may use your use your post on our next show, actually. You can also contact the Councilman just by picking up the phone. He's easy to find, 702-229-4623. Or send him an email, and this is his personal email address, everyone, lvcouncilman@hotmail.com. And he or his staff or someone here at the city will get back to you on whatever your issue
We
is.
really need the email, because I read it 7 days a week.
I know you do.
It's the consternation of my family. They think I'm probably playing solitaire, but I'm paying attention.
I'm working.
To stuff. Well, the idea is I can forward your complaint or your plea or your praise to the appropriate person from my home or from wherever I am, if you send it to my email.
All right, Councilman. And we want to thank you for joining us for this edition of Access City Council. Don't miss our next show beginning on August 16th with Ward 4 City Councilman Stavros Anthony. And don't forget you can watch us live on the internet at kclv.tv. We'll see you next time around right here on KCLV, where we bring city government closer to you. Thanks for watching, everyone.